Mark your calendars. The AZ Oktoberfest 2025 is happening 31st of October to November 2nd at the iconic Nitro Compound in Maricopa, Arizona. This track is next level with huge elevation, massive jumps, and fast technical layouts that keep the action intense all weekend long. Add some night racing under the lights and perfect fall desert weather with temperatures from 70s to the low 80s, and you have the ultimate RC weekend. Classes include novice, sportsman, intermediate, pro, 40 plus, short course truck, and you have the open class. This is for any skill level as a second buggy class. And of course, they have a 16 and under class with their dedicated 16 and under final. Race and hang out with RC stars like Ryan Mayfield, Spencer Rivkin, Spencer Heckert, Camden Lime, and the Iceman, Mason Fuller. They have a massive raffle from all the sponsors that participated, live coverage by Mod Live Media. This is one race you don't want to miss. Follow the Nitro Compound on Facebook and Instagram for more details, and get ready to send it at the AZ Oktoberfest.
Nitro is the glory, but e-buggy pays the bills. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast. Get ready for some serious bench racing. But be warned, we speak our minds, express our thoughts, and sometimes things can get a little rowdy.
Hate, and he just was influenced by the hate coming from the left, the hate coming from the right.
And let's get back to more club racing and less of this grabbing racing.
It's hard not to be arrogant when you're always right.
See what I mean? That's exactly why people call you arrogant, Max.
You may not agree with everything we say, but it's definitely worth a listen.
And our pick, can you stop whatever you're doing?
Join your host, Lefty the Great, with co-hosts and guests as they get together to chat RC.
Hey, after that race that I watched this morning, I have to talk about it.
Here we go. $100 right here, $100 throw. Oh no!
I like this.
Yes, indeed. Nitro's the glory, but e-buggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to show number 331 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host, Keenan White, a.k.a. Lefty the Great. And this week, we have a solo interview with the young man who shook up the interwebs this past week, Mr. AJ Schumacher, the new owner of RawSpeed. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you to all of the NNRC squad around the world. Thank you all for the continued support. We can't do this without you. We are on the road to 8,000 subs. Please hit that like, sub, notification button. Help us get there. Big shout out to my Elite RC Productions crew. Their channel's almost to 10,000 subs. Thank you for all the support. They had an awesome video go viral. Super pumped for everybody there and the team at Elite RC Productions. Also, a big shout out to all of our patrons and YouTube members. I did some Patreon only and YouTube members lives this weekend, this past week. That's going to be a regular thing. Not only will you get content with no YouTube ads, and probably some unfiltered, unedited content once that comes out. But you also get some lives. I don't know how long I'm going to do that, but if you like what we're doing here at the podcast, if you want to support it a little bit more, you can join either our YouTube membership or our Patreon. And I hope you guys do that because that definitely helps us pay the bills around here. Also, we can't do this without sponsors. We're coming up on the end of the year. Please show these sponsors some love. If you're a company interested in supporting and being a part of advertising on the No Name podcast, going into 2026, please send me a message because we're going to be opening up slots once again here very shortly. They are brought to you by our title sponsor, J Concepts, High Tech RCD, Sidewinder Fuels, Latera Racing, Invisible Speed, ML Toys, Dollar Hobbies, Side Piece Racing, Get Shut Done Coffee, Elite RC Productions, RC Project, Techno RC, Mayako, Beach RC, Racecraft USA, and Clinic RC. We have links for all of those companies in the written description of this podcast. Some are affiliate links, some are coupon codes you can save some money, and some are just links. If you do purchase anything from them, let them know you heard about them on the No Name RC podcast. A big shout out to all our drivers, David Ronnefalk, Robert Battier, Alexander Hagberg, Matty G, Pecco, Evening, Una Hotman, and Mason Fuller. Thank you for all your support. That's right, everybody. So it was pretty interesting. I don't get surprised much in the industry, but I was definitely surprised this past week when I saw that AJ Schumacher, the young AJ Schumacher, is only 23 years old, has acquired RawSpeed. If you guys don't know who RawSpeed, it belonged to Jason Snyder of Short Course World fame on YouTube. He's been doing it for about 9 years. And I was shocked that he even sold it, to be honest. Ryan Lutz runs for them and the tires. They do make accessories, tires, and bodies for RC cars. And I knew as soon as this happened, I messaged AJ because I was shocked. And I don't get shocked much in the industry, but I was pleasantly surprised because I've become really good friends with AJ and his dad, Tony, over the years. They've been big supporters of the podcast. They have the Oktoberfest race coming up. They own the Nitro Compound there in Maricopa, Arizona. Very good people, great racers. And when I saw something like this, a young man at 23 years old buying a company in RC, it shocked me. It was good. And I was very impressed because we usually see bigger companies buying, we see bigger conglomerates usually buying these smaller companies. So it's good to see that a racer, a young racer that with some fresh ideas, some fresh perspective has bought this. So we decided to get him on the podcast, have a chat with him. I thank him for his time. I'm really impressed by him. I wish him all the luck. And thank you, AJ, because I know you're about to be really busy, for making some time coming on the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy this. And don't forget, hit that sub, like, and notification button. Thank you to J Concepts for all the support. We also did an INS live show last night with Brock Champlin. Thursday night with Brock Champlin. It's very good. It's up on the YouTubes. It's up on J Concepts Facebook. Check it out. It was a great interview with Brock. Great time with him and Alex Sturgeon. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Brock, for your time. With that said, enough jibber jabber. Let's get into all the action. Joining me in the virtual studio today, is somebody who kind of broke the RC interwebs yesterday, even stunned me. Was completely shocked. A lot of people on the West Coast know who he is. I've known him for many years, him and his father, Tony. Welcome, AJ Schumacher, to the podcast. We've known each other for many years. You're a young racer. You know, your dad owns, you and your dad own the Nitro Compound, which I think is probably one of the most baddest ass tracks I have not visited yet, but I will be visiting it in about a month's time, a month and a bit. I'm coming to check you guys when I come to Arizona.
Nice.
But welcome to the podcast, man. Good to see you. I was pleasantly surprised at the post yesterday about you acquiring RawSpeed. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, us acquiring RawSpeed was a huge deal. I mean, for us and Jason, this has kind of been in the works for a while, and we just kind of kept it all secret. And then yesterday we kind of let it all loose and said, here you guys go. Here's what we've been working on. There's been a couple people that had an idea that we were stirring the pot, kind of figuring some stuff out, get going in the RC community on our own side with the manufacturing side. A lot of people know that I have the track and the hobby shop. So this was kind of like the next step for me. Jason gave us a call, said, hey, here's what I think. What do you guys think about doing this? And we said, yeah, let's do it. And yesterday we made the announcement. We went public with it. Yesterday was the big day. And I think kind of started up the RC community, and we gave a good post, and we seem to enjoy it. And we're going to take RawSpeed to the next level.
There you go. I like that attitude. We're going to talk more about that in a bit. I want people to get to know who you are. Obviously, I've known who you are. I've been following you, not following you, but I met your dad. It's funny because I used to see your dad at the track, and he would just look at me because I was always with JQ, and I know him and JQ, they are friends, but they also don't mix well. They're like oil and water. So he would kind of look at me like, who's this guy? And then eventually we kind of became friends. I was watching you race, and I was like, wow, like I was really impressed with your racing. You are a very accomplished racer. You have done well over there in the West Coast. You've been racing for some time.
Mhm.
I always like to find out, how do guys get involved in racing? Because I believe you and your dad probably started around 2017, 2018, if I'm not mistaken, around that time.
Yeah, so we started 8 scale, I want to say the start of 2016, but we were actually doing 10 scale
Hmm.
back when, the early 2014 days, whatnot, back in the old
Okay.
Warehouse 3 days. So a lot of people won't remember Warehouse 3, but if you're a Phoenix local, been doing this for a while, we had the old outdoor SRS and we have indoor Warehouse 3. And I started racing with an old RTR T4.1. From there, Dad and I hit the outdoor SRS track, and then couple months later, they closed the doors. So we hit the indoor side and started racing there, having a good time. And that kind of took off the hobby for us. Granted, I was still in middle school at that point, which, man, that feels like a long time ago for me. But at that point, we just kind of kicked it off on the 10 skill side. And then from there, when Warehouse closed, it was either kind of leave the hobby or join the 8 skill side. And we enjoyed the hobby too much, and the passion with our hanging out with our friends. The RC community is so close, and it feels like family. So we just kind of hung out there, checked out the 8 skill side, and went to Fear Farm a lot and got a couple cars. And that's kind of where we've been ever since, is on the 8 skill side, because that's just where we have the most fun, the most passion, being outside, hanging out with our friends, enjoying life with the RC community.
I would agree to all of those points. I I always call it my extended RC family, whether we get along or
Mhm.
not. I really enjoy the social aspect of RC, and one of the big draws for me of going to this race, obviously because I don't race, but one of the big draws of going to the races when I travel and stuff is to see that family, right? And show people that show love to people that show love to me. And RC's been very good to me. You and your dad have been big supporters of what I do here at the podcast. I greatly appreciate that. I completely forgot that you ran 10 scale, because that's when I first started hearing about you, like AJ Schumacher, because I thought it was a cool name, right? And I remember the SRS facility. That's where they had the Cactus Classic, if I'm not mistaken. It was a sugar track, right?
Yep. Yeah. So back in the day, granted, the shooter track and all that stuff was like way before me. I kind of went there towards the end of their closing days. Um, but like Corey Drakenberg did a good video, 5150 Productions, on it, where they show the sugar. And from what I know, that's where a lot of the guys like Mayfield, Ken Waldo, those guys got really get going on this. But yeah, for us, we started there, and SRS was a great starting place for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of what projected the Cactus Classic is kind of what projected Mayfield into the limelight, running stock, winning stock, doing good with that and all that type of stuff. Many, many years ago. Many years, probably very young when that happened.
Yep. Way
Uh,
before me.
did your dad used to race at all prior to you, or?
No, honestly, I mean, every kid at some point had an RC car, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's something we all run into that we don't really remember, or it's kind of like it wasn't a big thought for us when we first started. Either it's one of those ones you get from Walmart, or your parents get you something a little nicer, or however it comes about. But I mean, he's had a couple things like that, kind of like the ones you get from Walmart, but nothing to the scale of what we're doing now. I mean, we're not spending the big money on buying the nice cars, having a good time in racing. He never got into that side.
Got you. Because then you guys got right into 8 scale, like fully into it. Every DNC you'd be there. Every race I'd see you there. Then I remember you guys traveling a lot to JBRLs. You've made frequent trips over to the Southeast to race the race time events. You was at PMB here this year as well. Your dad and Robbie, the 5th scale racer.
Yep.
So it's always good to see you guys. Tell us a little bit, because you've had some success. You've done well in the intermediate class. You've kind of went in between. I think you're one of those drivers, like, you're very good at intermediate. And then what people don't understand, when you get to that pro level, the gains that you get are like minute. Like, sportsman is like this much gains. Then intermediate is like that much gains. And then when you get to the pro level, you make gains like that. If you have talent and skill, if you are extremely talented, obviously you still can make some more. But yeah, you kind of bounce in between that. I still think you're a great intermediate driver. And I
Mhm.
think we need people like you in intermediate who make it hard. Uh, Tell us a little bit about your 8 scale. I know you guys ran techno for a while. Recently, I know you ran associated for a little while. Recently, you've been bouncing around. You've been running a mix of different cars and classes. So maybe tell us a little bit about your 8-skill journey as well. A big shout out to our sponsors, Side Piece Racing and Latara Racing. Elevate your RC experience with SidePieceRacing.com, North America's exclusive distributor for top tier brands like Awesomatics, Roche, Wild Turbofan, Montac Racing, Corsatek, Phoenix Racing, and Will Speed. Whether you're seeking precision engineered car kits, high performance batteries, or aerodynamic bodies, we have got you covered. Enjoy fast shipping and exceptional customer service, ensuring that you get the best gear when you need it. Visit SidePieceRacing.com today and race ahead of the competition. Let them know you heard about them on the No Name RC podcast. All for our friends over there in Europe, step up your RC racing with Tara Racing, one of Sweden's premier hobby shops and tracks dedicated to the racers, by racers. Featuring top brands like X-Ray, Hobbywing, Zoo Racing, and Team Coyote, they provide everything you need from precision chassis to high-performance electronics. Whether you're at the track or upgrading your setup, Latara Racing caters to racers who demand the best. Visit latara.se or stop by our shop and track for the ultimate RC experience. Latara Racing, built for winners.
Yeah, I mean, so before we jump into that, that's kind of the nice thing about having the hobby shop is I'm not tied to just one brand. Now, tires, I am. Tires, I got to stick with RawSpeed because that's my own deal, right? But for chassis and whatnot, I mean, I can kind of bounce around. I can feel what suits me as a driver. But yeah, so we started off many, many years ago with a TLR. I mean, that was our TLR 3.0. And then we hit, when Adam Drake was still running it, we hit the 4.0, asked him a couple questions about those. And then from there, we went to AE and ran for AE for quite a while. Had a lot of success with Richard Saxton and BT with those guys over there. And then we kind of stopped racing for a little bit after that because that's when COVID happened. And then once we kind of got going again, we were full board with Techno. And then I kind of did my own thing with the hobby shop starting this year, 2025, and kind of bounced around between cars, going from S-Works to Mugen, back to Techno, X-Ray. I mean, Kyoshos. We were trying anything and everything because why not? Just because we could. You know, we didn't have any brands tied to us. We didn't have any contracts signed. So we had the ability to be able to try out these cars. I mean, I had the great friends of mine that are local racers and everything like that. I mean, they were handing me radios saying, hey, try this car, see what you think. You know, maybe we can get you set up on one of these, whatnot, stuff like that. And I mean, the local guys are great here. They give us the ability to try new things without having to buy them. So that kind of helped out a lot. We kind of got to figure out what we did and didn't like right on before purchasing a vehicle. But right now, I mean, we're running the X-Ray buggies, Mugen truck, Techno E-truck. I mean, those kind of fit my driving style the best just for us. But I mean, in 2 weeks, everything can change. I mean, I could be driving the new Kyosho in 2 weeks. Who knows what I'll be doing? I mean, that's the best thing about not having a chassis sponsor and having a hobby shop is I'm able to try new things and be able to help out the locals. So if they want to try one of my cars, I can be like, hey, here you go. Try this car. See what you think. Hand them a radio. And at the end of the day, make sure that they have a good time.
Awesome. I do remember when I met you guys, it was associated. I think it was like Rivkin. It was you still on the team and like Cav was on it? Yes. You was running associated when Cav was still on the team and Rivkin was on the team. Wasn't Dino Dan also still there doing stuff as well?
I don't think Dino Dan was there. I think when Dino Dan left is when I kind of joined on. So it was kind of like that weird phase between Dino Dan leaving and me coming on. But yeah, I mean, I was still there when I want to say Brock was there and all that other good stuff. Yes. So it's been a minute, but those were good times and good memories.
You know what? That brought up a memory and I don't know why. I remember when Cav got suspended for a month. For getting in an argument. I think he got in an argument with Dino Dan and he got suspended. Like the first RC drop, second, because I think Tebow almost got suspended at Techno or had to take a break at Techno as well because they got at it. But that just, I don't know why that popped into my brain. Just because I remember seeing your dad. I think we might even have talked about it at a race. But, and then of course, I remember always asking your dad, like, where are you? When are you going to come racing again? And I was like, because I think just before COVID, you was like hitting a good stride, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, he was doing well. And I was like, then COVID came, interrupted that. And then when 2021 came around and people kind of started racing again, I was like, well, where's AJ? And he's like, he's working.
Yeah.
He's working. I'm like,
so,
oh, it's school and work, I think it was.
Yeah. So I I graduated high school in 2020.
Okay.
But luckily for me, I didn't actually have to finish high school. So they kind of gave us like the end of the line kind of thing. Here we are. Like, I think the week after DNC, they kind of sent us all an email and said, hey, by the way, nobody's coming back to school. You guys are going to keep your grades however they are. If you want to be able to improve them, you can work with the teachers. And I had A's and B's in high school, for my senior year. My junior year and all the other years, they weren't great, but I put it down for the senior year. I had to make it look good. But I had to graduate high school. And from there, as soon as they said, we're kind of done with high school, here's your diplomas, have a nice day, I went straight to work. I started working on the farms and just constantly working. And RC was kind of put to the back for me. At that point in my life, it was more important to learn a skill outside of RC to be able to function in real society, because I always knew at some point RC would never be a real job.
Mhm.
Now it's a real job for me, but I always knew being a professional racer, being a paid racer like Mayfield and stuff, it was a possibility, but I wasn't counting on that possibility. I needed to have stuff in my back pocket, something I could fall back on. So
Very smart. Very smart. So you was working on the farms. You told me this, but I can't remember exactly what you was doing.
yes, so in Phoenix, Arizona area, we have a bunch of Indian breds out here. So basically, I was one of the third-party contractors that we worked on the fields for and got them rocking and rolling on that. And then I went to a family farm here that's out in Maricopa that they've been great to me, and their families kind of got Maricopa to what it is today. So I started working with them for quite a while and did that for a long time. And after a while, I decided I needed something else to do. So I worked in the mines. I would travel all over the state of Arizona.
You worked in the mines. I didn't know that either. I worked
Yeah.
underground as well.
So I didn't get to do the underground part.
Okay.
I was
Open
only, yep. Yeah. I was strictly open pit. We did some copper, gold, stuff like that here down in Tucson. We
Okay.
did a lot of rock pits because Phoenix is all rocky. And then I traveled to Trapper Mine up in, I want to say, Colorado area. So I did that a lot too. That was
That's a hard
all-
life.
It was, it was waking up at midnight, being on the road by 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, staying up until, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, waking up again in 2, 3 hours to hit it again hard.
And was the farm, I think, was it you who told me you worked on a sod farm as well?
Yep.
Yes. So I have some experience in that too.
Good.
Up in high level Alberta, Canada. I think I told you about this. Being on the back of that machine that cuts sod, and then you got to stack it on the pallets and do that type of stuff. I did that for like a month at my buddy's big sod farm. So pretty cool. I did not know you worked in the mines. Here in the DR, they have in Coty, I think they have this one of the top 3 most richest open pit gold reserve mines in the world. And Barrick Gold's on her. They've been here for years and pumping out a lot of gold out of there. So I never did open pit. I did tunneling and shotcreting and all that type of stuff, underground money. They always say there's no money like underground money, and that is absolutely true because it's very good money. Cool.
100%.
So you bust your ass at a young age.
Yeah, I've worked hard for a lot of the stuff I've had, Some people only know me through the RC scene and whatnot, and that's all they're really going to know. But like my personal life, the issues I've had with health and whatnot, a lot of people don't know. So, I mean, it's for me to bust my rear to get everything into gear. Because when I was young, I've always wanted the nicer things, but I was always too cheap to buy them. So I went out when I was making really good money. I went out, bought me some nice stuff to keep around. And eventually I sold all that stuff off because we wanted to get back into some other stuff. I kind of wanted to slow down pace, live life a little, and get back into the RC world.
Awesome. Yeah, that's some hard work there. Sod farming, working on the farms, doing all that type of stuff. And I think it's great. I never had any goals to go to university or college when I got out of high school at 16, because in Bermuda at that time you got out of high school at 16. But what I did was work and then travel, which was great for me. I started traveling. When I say travel, I had always come to America from Bermuda, but I started taking cruises and traveling. I came here for the first time, seeing different life. So my education came from traveling and experience on things like that. So very similar. I was working, 6, 7 days a week. I wasn't doing hard work like you, but I was definitely working 7 days a week and making my money. and doing what we got to do at that age instead of going to university. So I get it. And I always admired that about you. Your dad would be like, yeah, it's working. Good stuff. A big shout out to one of our longtime sponsors and my favorite servo brand, High Tech. Looking for top tier performance and reliability in your RC setup? High Tech RCD has you covered with industry leading chargers and servos for both surface and air applications. Whether you're bashing, racing, or taking to the skies, High Tech's advanced technology delivers precision power and durability when you need it most. From high torque servos to smart, efficient charging solutions, trust High Tech to keep you in control. High Tech, powering passion, elevating performance. Visit www.hightechrcd.com and let them know Lefty sent you. Thank you, High Tech, for all the continued support and the awesome products. Now, you get back into racing after COVID, which is great. Then you and your dad kind of open up the Nitro Comp. Actually, you know what? Before we segue into that, let's talk about Arizona RC, right? Arizona RC's had lots of ebbs and flows, I think. We talked about the SRS Raceway. We had Fair Farm back in the day. What a lot of people don't know is that I don't know how many DNCs were held at Fair Farm, but I went for the last one in 2018, and I'll never forget it. I'll tell you what, it's not my first time was ever doing camping, like in a camper. It's no running water there, so that was a different thing for me. I had to go get showers and end up getting showers at a truck stop not too far away. But I'll never forget when I was coming over that highway pass, I think, one night, and then you looked on there and all you saw was lights, the RC track, and then you saw all the pits with lights because it was nighttime, the flags. Oh, I was like, that is, if I'm driving across there, I want to go see what's happening on there. And I will never forget that scene when I was driving over that pass. I think we was just getting some food, and I was like, that's beautiful, right? And there was a nice facility. It made for some good racing that year. Unfortunately, it closed due to a racer, if I remember, complaining. I can't remember what he was complaining about, but basically got health and safety involved and ended up shutting down the track. And I think that's the one time that the entire RC world agreed with JQ once, because he said something on Facebook to the guy. Unfortunately, because I think even for that year, 2018, Joey had to do a whole bunch of stuff to make it happen. And then of course, the 2019, it was at the Paris location. I think it was 2019. Was that Paris?
Yep. Yeah, because we were supposed to be on the current track where it is, but we had to go to where the practice track was.
Right. That's right. That's the year Ronafalk hit the light pole.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. He was in the lead. And now, I think you even had another track back then, the Snake something. Didn't you have another track that DNC was held at too prior to Fair Farm?
That I don't know. So I know they used to have like the Nitro Pit a long time ago.
That's it.
But that's way, way before me. I know Spencer used to go there, Spencer Rifkin, a long time ago, but we started racing 8 scale, let's say the start of 2016. So anything past that, I have no clue. I just remember everybody talks about the Nitro Pit and the Nitro Pit days and what stuff like that, but I've never been, so I don't really know much about it.
Right. You have produced some very fast races. Ryan Mayfield and Spencer Rifkin are both from Arizona. Right now, I don't know how many tracks you have. I know you guys have the Nitro Compound. I know Tim Lime has Adobe. Of course, we have Hobby Action there. And of course, you guys are very close to California. It's a 4-hour drive, so a lot of you guys get to go over there and race with those guys. So Arizona is kind of, I wouldn't say secretly, but it does have a pretty decent RC scene. There's lots of Arizonians. I think also you guys got a lot of people coming on from the surrounding states, the way you're located. So Arizona is actually a good spot for RC, I would say.
Yeah, Arizona's a perfect spot for RC, except for in the middle of summer when it's 120 degrees and it's, midnight, it's still 110. And then you wake up at 5 o'clock and it's 115. At that point, you're just like, ugh, why do I live here? But in the wintertime, when it's 40 degrees in the desert winter, which, some people think, oh, that's not that bad. Being in the desert at 40 degrees is a little bit different from some other places, so it's pretty cold for us at 40 degrees in the desert, but it's 70 degrees by 2, 3 o'clock. And it's just absolutely beautiful here in the wintertime. And that's where we really thrive, is just in the wintertime. And we travel to California, Texas, New Mexico in the summertime just because we enjoy to race and we want to be able to hit all the tracks with all of our fellow RC community and just have a good time, since we're not able to race here. And I hate to say that not able to, because we are. It's just being in 120 degrees for 5, 6 hours racing your RC car does not sound fun to me. Let's put it that way. And to most people, it probably isn't fun at 120 degrees. And there are some diehards out there that enjoy it. And I give all the power to them for that. But for me, I'm not racing my RC car for 5 hours or whatnot in 120 degrees. It's just, I did it before. I don't want to do it anymore.
I have been in the desert, the like Arabian desert in Saudi in Abu Dhabi, in 125 degrees with humidity, and it sucked. Which is why I'm glad that I'm coming to Arizona in October, and it should be fairly cool. All right, thank you, Techno RC, for all the continued support, and thank you for that awesome monster truck that you gave me, the MT48. I can't wait to drive it here very shortly. Check out Techno for all your 1/8 scale bashing and racing need.
Techno RC. Techno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance 8-scale, 10-scale, nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Techno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Techno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.technorc.com.
Great segue into the Nitro Compound. I think it's been around. I don't remember exactly. It's I haven't been there. I've talked to people. Obviously, I talked to your dad. I see videos. I see pictures. It's a big track. What made you guys decide to say, "Hey, we're going to just build a track here"? I'm not sure if is that your backyard or how does that work? I'm not sure how it is.
So realistically, if you look at it on a Google Maps, if you Google the Nitro Compound on Google Maps, you'll see the house and whatnot. So technically, it's our front yard. Which to most people, it doesn't make sense, right? So when they think of the big issue back in the day we had is everybody thought the Nitro Compound was a backyard track because it was on our property. Well, we own 10 acres of property. So we have plenty of space, So we built the track in the corner of the property to where we can hold races, stuff like that. But realistically, we started the Nitro Compound actually when Fear Farm was closing. So we were really close friends with the manager of Fear Farm, the guy that basically kind of got everything rocking and rolling with Fear Farm and Fear Farm RC track and whatnot. So kind of when he said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to be shutting down Fear Farm because of X, Y, and Z issues that came up," we kind of saw the opportunity. We're like, "Hey, we're moving houses anyways to property. This is going to be our best way to build something we all enjoy." And realistically, we didn't expect it to blow up into something this big. I mean, we kind of figured it'd be a local track, some for everybody to come hang out, have the RC community and just be hanging out with friends, having barbecues, stuff like that. Just a good time. And at the end of the day, it turned into something bigger. I won't say it's world famous, but I'll say the name's known around the world, which is crazy for me to wrap my head around. I mean, I never thought that we'd be able to have a track that would be, we'll call it quote unquote world famous. But we started the track in 2017, 2018, and then, almost 10 years later, here we are. You're muted.
Yeah, I didn't know it had been 10 years, but
yeah, it's been
really?
almost 10 years. Yep.
Well, I remember another crazy thing that came from that. I remember when JQ had his scrap your crap thing going on. I don't know why I keep bringing up JQ because it was funny. And I remember he was there and you guys had a roller, steam roller, and he rode over a Durango or something that somebody sent in.
Yep.
But yes, here's an overhead shot of the track. What are the actual dimensions of it? What's this right here? This little oval thing right here.
So that's our oil track. So we've actually got bored one day and we decided we're going to dig a hole and build an oil track. And when we did, I don't remember exactly what race this is and what layout this is. This probably is FTC. Yeah, that looks right about FTC. So when we were building the track one day, we just kind of said, screw it. We own the equipment, we own the roller, we own the Bobcat. So we kind of got bored when the track was done, and we built an oval track. We built an 8-scale oval track that's roughly 60 by 100 in dimensions for the oval. Right now we're still working on it. I mean, since FTC, we've been kind of busy traveling. We've been gone basically from January till nationals. Every 3 weeks we were traveling somewhere, from California, Nevada to Tennessee, Texas, multiple times for Lone Star nationals. And, since then it's just been hectic. And then as soon as right around June, we kind of got that call for RawSpeed. And from there, it's been even crazier. So I haven't had the time to finish up the oval track, get it shaped, make it look all nice and pretty. But yeah, that little kind of hole in the ground that looks back in the picture, that's our oval. That's going to be our 8-scale oval, to where we're going to be doing 10-scale, 8-scale nitro, the whole 9 yards. But that's kind of in the meantime. It's kind of on the back of the oven cooking right now. I mean, that's kind of like the least of my worries right now. But yeah, that's our track. This picture's kind of hard to tell the elevation, and on camera, the elevation's real hard to see just because the cameras just don't do it justice. But to tell you the exact size, I can't tell you, because we're constantly changing it. I mean, we've moved the poles a few times around to get them into the current locations. We've pushed dirt on the outside of the track, brought them back into the poles. To give you an accurate length and width of, I mean, that I couldn't do it because there's so many numbers I'm thinking of, and I can't tell you the correct one.
I would say it's pretty big. it's a pretty big track. And I haven't even been there. It looks very big from the pictures, and from this picture as well.
100%. I mean, it's pretty big. We've done the math to where if we wanted to, we can probably knock out high 47s. And we'll talk high 47s for Mayfield, right? High 47 lap times for Mayfield, minute lap times for some of the rookies, the newer guys, maybe longer. So the track's big enough to do the lap times like that. I mean, we're not minute lap times for the pros, but we can get there at some point.
Oh, wow. You can see some of the elevation in this picture.
Yep. Yeah, you can see some of it there. And this is actually a little less elevation than what we currently have. So we're constantly changing elevation. I mean, we're digging down, pushing dirt up, trying to make the track better in any which way we possibly can.
And Factory Tracks, Anthony Westergaard, my good friend, is the builder of this. He is a very good track builder. He built some great layouts. Really appreciate his work.
Yeah, Anthony does really good work. He comes out often to build some of the tracks, and every once in a while I'll build some. I'll do all the changes and whatnot when Anthony's not able to make it down here. So I'll hop with this Bobcat, our skid steer, and do all the changes and whatnot. But yeah, Anthony does a lot of our track builds. He does a lot of good work, and we're honestly grateful to have him as a track builder for us.
Sweet. What type of? No, it's out in the desert. So is it? I don't know. The desert I went to was complete sand, right? I don't know what's the aggregate like. What's the material like out there?
Man, that's a tough question, because a lot of our stuff is native. So we actually dug up a lot of the property and brought over dirt. And then there's a bunch of stuff there's mixtures of clays in there. There's mixture of realistically anything. The best way that one of my good friends put it is, our dirt is a freak of nature. When we mix the dirt up and whatnot, it is a powdery, it is a sand, it is silk. You walk on it, you basically leave a footprint you're walking on moon dust, is the best way to put it. It's crazy to think that it goes from moon dust to something rock hard, to where when we first got the track going and we weren't getting, the name wasn't as big as it is, and we weren't getting a bunch of entries and whatnot. I mean, I wanted to build a track with ruts and holes to be prepared for Silver State DNC, stuff like that. Because ideally, that's what the track started as, is it started as a local area for us to be able to practice at, to get better for going to California, hitting the JDRLs, DNC, stuff like that. So there were days to where I took pickaxes to the track. And then at the end of the day, you wouldn't even know the hole was there. The track just rounded it out. You'd hit it and didn't affect the cars. So our dirt, nonetheless, is a freak of nature. Well, that's the best way to put it.
So do you guys just water and pack? I know your dad was thinking of oiling it at some point, or oiling some sections. That'll be a lot of oil for that big track.
Yeah. our biggest issue is finding the oil. We need 500,000 gallons of oil, if not more.
I would
And
say
that-
so.
That's a lot of work, and we're down to do it, but trying to find that much oil, if you ask somebody, hey, I need 500 to 1,000 gallons of oil, there's like, what do you mean? What are you going to do with all that oil? Then you try to explain it, and they're like, that just doesn't make sense to us. And to your average person, that's not going to make sense. But to us at the RC community, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it's a lot of oil, and we're trying to find some to get some testing done for next year Worlds, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it might happen, it might not. Don't know yet.
Absolutely. Or glue. I've been talking to your dad about it, but he likes the oil more. He seems to like the oil. I have yet to drive one up. Pecco prefers the oil over the glue. They both have their differences. I think we're going to start seeing more tracks doing this in the USA. In fact, somebody just sent me Facebook group. Oh, I can't remember the track. They oiled their track as well. So we'll see. I think it's coming because it's just less maintenance, easier to work on if it rains and stuff like that. Okay. Something that I forgot to mention was TNT Hobbies. You opened that, I think, near the end of last year, going into this year. Tell us a little bit about that and how that started.
Yeah, so I opened TNC Hobbies January 3rd of this year, which is crazy to think it was a long time ago. It doesn't feel like a long time ago, but it is now. So I opened it. Basically, we don't have a strictly 8-scale hobby shop here. We don't have something that's trackside. We don't have something. The best way to put it is we don't have the HRCR of the South. That's the best way to put it. Somewhere to where our local racers or anybody can come in and buy product and whatnot to have something. Because out here, if you break something, we're 10 minutes from Maricopa, and a lot of people don't live in Maricopa. And for most people, that's the city we live in, Maricopa, Arizona, where the track is. So a lot of people live in Phoenix, and for them, it's an hour drive, which a lot of it's all freeway for them. So it's not terrible at all. But when you come to the track and you break something and you don't have it and other people don't have it, and it's gut wrenching because you really wanted to race your car that day, or you wanted to have a good time with your buddies and whatnot. I mean, to you as a driver, it's just gut wrenching because you're like, man, I just wanted to spend the day racing my car and having a good time. So I kind of opened the shop to be able to build product and be able to help those guys out that might have broke something, or or they lost something that nobody else has it. That's kind of what I did for the hobby shop. Is I wanted a one-stop shop. I wanted to have the track, and I wanted to have a place to where they can come in, buy consumable items, air filters, fuel, stuff like that. But they're also able to buy parts, kits, everything else they need to continue their love for the hobby. And everything I'm doing right now is a love for the hobby. It's not because I don't like the hobby or nothing like that. I love the hobby so much that I want to watch it grow. I want to watch it become something bigger than what it already is. I want to see the future. Like, we have a young kid here named Reed Saunders, he's a young kid. He's great. His dad loves the RC hobby, and just to watch him grow into something bigger is what I want to see throughout the RC community. I mean, watching him grow as a racer, it's going to sound weird, but it feels like a proud dad moment, watching that young kid grow into something great, being a young sportsman driver, loving the hobby so much. And that's basically what I did it for, is I did it for the next generation of racers. I want to watch them grow into something big, and I want to watch the hobby grow.
Dude, I can agree with everything you just said just now, because that is like one of my main goals. And that's coming from a 23-year-old young man that's in RC. So when we have people like you getting into the industry, it breathes new hope, because us old guys, not all of us, there are people that things can be changed. But I agree with you. And we need to nourish and promote these young racers. I know I say this all the time, because they are the future. And I'm sure there were people that kind of said the same thing about you as you was coming up and watching you race as well. So now it's the shoes on the other foot. So is that your dad there doing something for drill?
He's walking in the front door trying not to make so much noise, but sure, it's trying to.
But great. That's awesome. And I hope that to meet that young kid. I know he went up to Canada to do the Raw Nats. I remember that too. The Canadian nationals. So unfortunately, I don't think he made the cut for the USA team. Or I don't think made the cut for the Worlds because they changed it.
Yeah, so they did change it. Yep. I'm not 100% sure if he made it or not. I know that was a pretty stressful time for them because they've never traveled to that scale, right? So they have a trailer and whatnot that they drive literally everywhere. But for them to fly somewhere, I mean, that was a huge deal for them. It was very stressful, and they enjoyed it. I know that for sure, but it was a stressful time, and I know they're going to try to get in their way to Worlds, and I like to see him try.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see him race in there.
Yeah, but I agree with you, man. Well, the youth are the future. I think RC can be bigger, and I think we all need to collectively, as an industry, think sugar. I think more and more people, more and more manufacturers are starting to see that, and it's a shift going on in the industry. So I see it happening. All right, and that now let's segue into the big announcement that was made. A big shout out to Dollar Hobbies for coming on board for the rest of the season here at the No Name RC podcast. And a big shout out to all you guys out there using that 10% discount. That's right. We greatly appreciate that. If you don't know who Dollar Hobbies is yet, go check them out at www.dollarhobbies.com. They have over 13,000 RC products in stock with 130 plus top brands. Whether you're a racer, basher, crawler, or just getting into the hobby, they have you covered. They also are a proper brick and mortar hobby shop up there in Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, with an indoor carpet track that switches up between on and off road. They have race nights, rentals, birthday parties, corporate events, the works, and they have a skilled staff on hand to help you with repairs and advice. But for all my listeners, they're hooking you up with a promo code to save 10%, Lefty in all caps. That's right, Lefty in all caps. Visit www.dollarhobbies.com. Use that coupon code and save some money. So I knew something was going on with you guys. Your dad was kind of hinted to things. I figured it was going to be tires. I thought it was going to be a different route. Like we see a lot of people bringing out their own brands. And I remember telling to your dad, I was like, dude, man, another tire brand is going to be hard. I remember saying that to him because it is. It's like a chassis brand, right? Chassis are abundant in RC. There are quite a number of tire brands. So I wasn't sure. And he was like, yeah, it's not that. And I was like, then I was really lost. So I just kind of was like, okay, I don't know what's happening. And then, of course, the announcement, I don't get surprised much in the industry anymore, but I was very pleasantly surprised yesterday. When I saw that, I was like, did he buy RawSpeed? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. And then I think I messaged you. I messaged your dad. I talked to you. So I guess I don't think I ever saw that coming. Now when I put things together, because I've also talked to Jason Snyder over the last year and little things and whatnot, which I like. I like Jason a lot. We actually had a very good interview. It's one of my most popular podcasts, actually. I don't know what number it is, everybody, because I know they're going to ask me what number it is. I do not know. And I think it's an audio. It's only an audio only. So it's probably only on audio only or audio only on YouTube. But yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, here's why I'm excited. Most brands have been bought up by Horizon, right? We look at a lot of these companies, Proline, AKA Trinity, obviously TLR. Horizon's been buying up a lot of these racing brands, and now they're not really racing brands, right? There is a big rumor of Associated possibly being sold to A-Main, and A-Main does value racing. I hope if it happens, I hope things stay the same. But for a 23-year-old racer to buy a already established tire brand, and which is RawSpeed. If you don't guys know who RawSpeed is, it belongs to Jason Snyder of Short Course World. That's kind of where he became famous, for doing his videos on Short Course World in the RC industry. He started RawSpeed. I will be honest with you, it has not been a very popular tire. I don't see many people running it. I always felt like the marketing was off a little bit. It is the spec tire for the upcoming 10 scale worlds as well. But yeah, I guess, how does that start? Like, yeah, let's start. I know you can't say everything, but maybe tell me how that all started and what it took for somebody of your age to do that.
Yeah, so I can give you a couple of insights of what's going on with that, but there's a couple things that I can't go into and whatnot like that. But basically, we were talking to a couple people, kind of getting some insights, kind of getting everybody's opinion on the shallow end, right? We couldn't tell them what we were doing. We couldn't say what was going on at that time. Kind of like when Dad was talking to you, he was kind of getting some insights and opinions and whatnot, because we value everybody's opinion. We don't want to just jump into the deep end and kind of say, oh, well, we're already here, let's do it. We kind of want to make sure that we're going to do the right thing for us and the right thing for the RC community. So when we were kind of talking around, asking a couple of people, getting some opinions and not really giving them every detail that they kind of wanted, kind of like when you were thinking about, oh, I was making my own RC tire. That would be a lot harder for sure. And like you were saying, building the brand, starting from nothing was going to be basically a hill to climb. And building our RawSpeed into something big is going to be a massive hill to climb. But it has a name, it has a brand. I mean, we have Ryan Lutz, and the nicest guy in the world to talk to, the nicest guy to hang out with. Lutz is just an overall great dude, and RawSpeed is going to be something great. And I plan to build it something big, and we just kind of want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on with us. And we made that announcement yesterday and kind of said, hey, this is what's going on. But to start us out, basically the backstory when it all happened, Jason gave us a call, said, hey, I'm wanting to do something else. I kind of want to move on, kind of want to slow down, relax, and RawSpeed's up for sale. I kind of want to sell it to you guys. Here's what I'm thinking. Dad and I discussed it for a little while, kind of got back to Jason around Nationals, said, hey, yeah, let's start moving forward with everything. Let's start getting paperwork done, start doing some training on all the equipment so I can learn every inch and spot of basically RawSpeed, from making our own tires and bodies and everything else that we manufacture here in the US. And basically everything's just kind of came to yesterday was the day we made the announcement on 9/18/2025. We made that announcement saying, hey, AJ Schumacher is now the full owner of RawSpeed. So Jason is no longer a part of it. He kind of took his step back, and he's kind of watching from the outside now, hanging out and seeing what I could build RawSpeed into.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think when the announcement came out, we have a group chat, and Lance goes, that's why AJ was at Sick Cross this past weekend.
Yep.
So you've been going over to California, learning how to use the machines and all that type of stuff then?
Yep. Yeah. So I actually just got back. Today's Friday. I drove back Wednesday night. So basically everything, the closing date was yesterday for us. So we didn't make any announcements. Everybody kind of all found out at once. But I drove back Wednesday night to hang out with the family since I've been there almost 3 weeks or so, by myself, kind of figuring everything out, learning every inch of it, and kind of want to hang out with the family, be here for a little while, start getting some stuff situated, make sure that I got the building proper, make sure we got the right electrical, whatnot. Because basically Dad's been here. Dad drove up with me when we went, kind of hung out with a little bit, came home, and then it's been me ever since. And Dad's been here making sure that we got everything rocking and rolling, but I know every inch of the machinery. So I got to make sure that the building and the electricity and everything's able to handle it. So I got to make sure all that stuff's ready to rock and roll when we bring it from Bakersfield to Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, because that's what you told me. Probably, I don't know when this is coming out. It'll probably come out after we're recording this. But you're like, we got to record soon because I'm going to be busy moving all this stuff. So you're moving the complete operation from California to Arizona where you live. I'm sure that's a big expense as well, but cheaper in the long run because Arizona's a cheaper state and it's close to home. You don't have to, I could imagine trying to move to California would be very expensive. So you're going to have a separate warehouse type of deal, not attached to the house at all? Or so you're renting space and all that. Employees, are you going to hire anybody, or are you doing everything yourself right off the bat?
So let's put it this way. We're gonna rent, and ideally the best place is sooner or later we're gonna build a building on property, or there's a couple pieces of land next to us that we can always, message the owners and say, hey, we want to purchase the property and build something on it, that kind of thing. So the end goal is to have manufacturing on site with the track, with the oval track, and with the hobby shop. But for right now, we're just going to get into a building, get rocking and rolling. Kind of like what you were saying about me doing it all. Honestly, there's no way I can do it all.
Okay.
It's just impossible. So right now we're going to start out with family. It's going to be me and dad, mom, sister, grandma, whoever else I can get to get us rocking and rolling. From there, we're going to get going on employees. I've got a bunch of texts from all of our lovely locals that said, hey, if you ever need help on a weekend or on a day that I'm off, don't hesitate to call, text, shoot us a message. I mean, the locals here are willing to help out, which is a huge thing for us. I mean, if we ever need the help with RawSpeed, we can make a couple calls and we'll have an army ready to go at our doorstep, willing to help us and get us to the next step.
Dude, it's huge. And you're like, no offense, you're 23, right? And I was like, so here's what I think. I assume Jason kind of just got tired of the grind, right? And you could see that because, okay, yes, he signed Ryan Lutz this year. Ryan Lutz has had a very good year this year, by the way. And also, as soon as I was like, all right, he's got a winner right there. Ryan Lutz is a well-liked driver. He still is able to perform. He's popular and he's good with social media. He's good with all that type of stuff. And he's genuinely probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. I like Ryan Lutz a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. But what you can do is breathe that youthful exuberance. You have time, like you have the energy, you have time, you have a family, you have none of the stuff. You have time for all of that later in life. So you can dedicate the next 10 years 100% fully into this. No holds barred. With your youthful exuberance. I know you was like, I don't really know this social media stuff. That's something you're gonna have to learn. Of course, look, YouTube is your friend. You're gonna learn all that type of stuff. But I guess once you get all set up, what's the estimated time of probably starting to produce stuff?
So realistically, we're going to get moving here relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
For us to start cranking away, I mean, we should be going before Oktoberfest.
Okay.
So it's going to be as quick as possible, ready to rock and roll, get product out to our customers and everything like that. Basically, as long as there's no hiccups, which we're going to account for hiccups, we're going to let our customers know, hey, by the way, this is what's going on. Please give us the time and understand that there's going to be hiccups with manufacturing. We're moving heavy equipment from 500 miles away. So there's always going to be little hiccups like that. But other than that, I mean, if everything runs as smooth as I can make it run, we're going to be producing tires before anybody really knows what's going on, before they realize, hey, they moved facilities.
All right. I guess my next question is, what are some of the things you immediately want to change? What's your vision? And how are you going to do things differently from what Jason did? Because he started out good, but like I said, I think he burnt out at the end. And it's a hard game. Tires, accessories, bodies, they are consumables. They are very much consumed and needed in racing. But maybe give a little insight onto what your vision is with RawSpeed and are you going to do things differently? I know sometimes you have to play that game until you can do things differently. Give us a little insight in that if you can, please.
So 100%, you're right. In the long run, things will be different, right? So the company that everybody known for the last 9 years, from 2016 till Wednesday, in the long run, it's not going to be the same just because it's new owners and everything like that. But your product, your vendors, everything is going to stay the same. So your quality control, everything that RawSpeed has produced in the past 9 years is not going to change from Jason and me. I mean, it might even become a little bit better just because I am very detail orientated when it comes to product like that. So I feel like a couple of the employees at RawSpeed realized that when I started nitpicking some of the product that I was making, to where I was going over it with a fine tooth comb, looking at it, say, hey, this isn't right. I don't like the way that this looks. So I do plan to have a little bit different of a quality control, maybe something a little bit better, just because I like to give the best product that we can produce. But for the long run, the goals and the ideas I have right now are just endless. The best way I got to keep myself on track is go 200 feet at a time. At night with that lights, you can only see 200 feet at a time. Once you hit that 200 foot, you go another 200 foot. So I got to keep reminding myself to pace myself and keep going till the end of the tunnel and go a little bit further. There's a lot of ideas I have to take the company to the next level with new product, new designs, new bodies, new tires, and other product that just isn't even on the market for RawSpeed right now. Stuff that we discussed, Jason and I discussed a while ago, and he thinks it's a good idea that I can take that into production and whatnot. Jason, from having previously owned RawSpeed, kind of getting his insight on do's and don'ts, learning from his mistakes is a huge benefit for me, because honestly, if I would have started my own company, my own tire brand from the get-go, I'm going to be real straight up with you. I would have made huge mistakes. I would have made your average mistakes that everybody else made. But the best way to put this for me is I'm going to make mistakes. We all know everybody's going to make mistakes. We're all human, right? But at the end of the day, I can learn from the mistakes I've made, and I can learn from the mistakes Jason's made. And Jason's going to be there to say, hey, by the way, you're kind of going down this path. I made this mistake to avoid it. Whenever I give him a call, Jason right now is no longer a part of RawSpeed, but he's given me the option to say, hey, whenever you need me, I'm a phone call away. If you have a question about something, if you want CNC design or something, I'm a phone call away. He's given me that opportunity to be able to call and text him and whatnot, keep that relationship strong between Jason and him.
Awesome. I guess my next question would be a big thing with these tires is having a presence at these bigger races, right? Now, you go to these races. Are we going to see you? I assume you're not going to be able to race, right? I know you. Or are we going to see? Okay, my better question is: are we going to see you at these a lot of these races? Obviously, you do the DNCs, the Silver States, but I'm talking about the Southeast races, because there's a lot of big Southeast races. The race time events. Are we going to see you more as AJ Schumacher, RawSpeed owner, here to provide support for my racers? Or are we going to see AJ Schumacher, I'm trying to race and do the same thing? Because eventually what's going to have to happen is, I always tell people this is the biggest thing. Why am I got a spoon in my hand? I was stirring my coffee. One of the biggest assets to a company is a good team manager, right? And anything, especially in RC, that's something I think is going to have to happen with you, because support is a big thing. You're a racer. You know what it feels like, right? That's another thing that I like about this, is that you are a racer and you know what it feels like to have good support. You know what it feels like not to have good support. So I guess my question is, are we going to see you at all these races now? Is it possible for you to be at all these races?
Yeah, so let's talk about the team manager thing for a second. So we actually have a great team manager as of right now. And as soon as we took over, Dalton and I have been talking and whatnot, and he's pumped. He's ready to go. We're kind of getting that fire going again, and all the team guys and whatnot. And we're getting everything rocking and rolling on that point. To the point of me traveling and going to the races and seeing if I'm going to be a racer and the owner of RawSpeed at the same time. That's a catch, because I want to race. That's always going to be a passion of mine. Am I going to be able to race every single race? No, I know that for 100%. I'm not going to be able to do. Is there going to be some big races like back east, let's say PNB and stuff like that I'll race that? Yeah, but I'm not going to be able. I might not be able to do nitro. I can only do electric and stuff like that. So if I can only do electric and be there to help out the team guys, help out Lutz, then that's 100% okay with me. Because at the end of the day, I'm there to have fun for me, but I'm also there to help my team, help them build something, to help them show that the product actually works. And I bought a trailer to do all this stuff. I bought a trailer to take with us, kind of like HRCRs, but we're going to do RawSpeed out of it. So everybody now on the West Coast has vans, and that's great. It's great that they all have vans and stuff, but I like the idea of a trailer just because I can throw a bench in there. I can work on my stuff in there, or Lutz can pit in there if he needs somewhere to pit, if it's dusty, whatnot. But we can take product. We can hang product on the shelves. We can have customers walk in and out. They can see what's going on. Kind of like the HRCR trailer, except for tires. So our big thing is I want to take that trailer basically to almost every big race we possibly can. Now, we're not going to be able to make it to AMS this year just because of everything. I think if I went to AMS, it would be a mistake on my half just because of how busy I currently am. Gotcha. So it would make me feel like I'm putting the company second when right now the company's my biggest priority. That's what I need to focus my time on and whatnot. But for RawSpeed, we plan to hit PNB AMS next year, Wicked Weekend. Sick. DNC, all of them, Silver State. I mean, we plan to hit it hard, and we plan to show that RawSpeed's going to be a presence in the tire production community, and we're going to do pop-ups and everything we possibly can to be there and show support, be trackside with all these. We might even try to hit a couple small races, depending on where they're at and depending on the time of the year.
Excellent. Who is the manager? Dalton.
Ours.
Okay, and he's based in California.
I want to say
Okay. What was Lutz's reaction to this, or did he know the whole time that this was happening?
So Jason and I have kept this pretty tight for a long time. I mean, it's been months and months in the making. So realistically, a lot of people didn't find out, or let's put it this way. Lutz and some of the higher ups on the team, they didn't really find out until maybe a few days ago, maybe last week. So like I was there at Sitcross, and I went to Sitcross because I was in California, but I went mainly to discuss and talk to Lutz. Lutz was a big thing, making sure that he enjoys the product, making sure that he knows what's going on. Because if I was in Lutz's position and your tire company that you are being paid by is changing owners and whatnot, it could be very nerve-wracking. Because these guys do this as a full-time job. Lutz has a wife and a family. I mean, it can be very nerve-wracking for him. But I went down there to make sure that he knows, hey, this is what's going on. We want to keep you as long as we possibly can. We want to build this relationship starting new with you and I, with me taking over the ownership of RawSpeed. And I just want to make sure that I can build you the best product you can to win the races and make sure that I keep you running on RawSpeed as long as we possibly can. There's always changes, right? People change manufacturers, people change tire companies. It's inevitable. Things are going to happen. But as long as I can keep Lutz coming and winning races and building them up and taking him places and giving him the best product that we possibly can, I think we're going to be off to a good start. We're going to be rocking and rolling with RawSpeed.
Awesome. How did he take it?
I would like to say he took it pretty well. I think that he can see the fire in my eyes, the passion I have to build the company into something bigger. So I think that kind of gave him a little bit more motivation to understand that the company's willing to go to the next level, willing to take him to the next level. Lutz knows that I have his back 100% all the way through. So that's a big thing for me to express to Lutz is I got your back. I'm here for you. I'm a text away, phone call away, just to show we're here no matter what happens. And at the end of the day, we want to build RawSpeed into something big, and we want to have Lutz be our number one guy for as long as we possibly can.
Awesome. I really like Lutz. All right. I think my final question is going to be, thank you to BeachRC for all their support. Looking forward to seeing Brent, Lucas, and everybody at the Masters Dirt. Check out Wheel and Trigger as well. They had a great interview with Ryan Cavallari here recently, a great live actually. Check out BeachRC. Use our affiliate link down in the written description of this podcast. And show them some love, because showing BeachRC some love shows the podcast some love.
BeachRC.com, the racer's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, S-Works, Pro Circuit Racing tires, Nitro Lux fuels, and Assault RC performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Here's probably the fun part of this, the R&D side of things, right? You testing out, trying new stuff, new treads, new compounds. Do you have ideas? Do you have a think tank that helps you out with that type of stuff? That's all new for you too. As a racer, you know what kind of works. You're very articulated, very smart young man. So tell us a little bit what how are you going to approach that side of things, the R&D side of things?
Yeah, thank you. So the R&D side, it's completely different. I mean, let's put it this way. Working on the farm, we build stuff, we fix stuff, we made stuff if we couldn't have it, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to do with RawSpeed is we're going to build stuff, we're going to make tires. Honestly, I got a notepad that it looks like scribbles to other people, but to me, it's drawing, it's tires ideas, it's things that we can change, things that we can make the company just a little bit different from what it already is. I mean, everything I have, I'm going to think about on it for a couple months. You know, I don't want to throw ideas right out into public and say, this is what we're going to do. Let's see it if it sticks and go from there. I mean, I want to make sure that I do this properly. I want to sit on the idea, talk to people, talk to the community, see what they think. I mean, this company is for the racers, by the racers. I mean, I started as a racer. Then we built a track. I built a hobby shop, and now I own a tire manufacturer. And people can say that, you know, it might have started out as something, but right now this company is bought by AJ Schumacher, a RC enthusiast, an RC racer, a track owner, a hobby shop owner. I mean, you can't get much further from by the racer, for the racers than that. So there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of new tires that I have bouncing around in my head, bouncing around in my notebook, a lot of new compounds, stuff just to try. I mean, at the end of the day, if I can't try it, and how am I supposed to know if it works?
Awesome. I like that answer. AJ, I said this to your dad. You continue to impress me, and you give me hope for the young racers coming up in RC. You're definitely a lot older than a lot more mature than your age. You're about to take on a big, humongous task, because I think it's easier to start your own brand, right? Easier in a sense, like, because we all get these emails. I get them too, where you can get this stuff right over from Asia, ready, set stuff. But to take a brand that's established, do the manufacturing, it's a lot. Like, you're undertaking a lot. You're manufacturing your actual tires and doing all this type of stuff. It is a big step. I think it's a great, as for the industry overall. I think it's good to have somebody who's young, smart, racer focused, doing this type of stuff, right? And I think it's a good move on yours. It's a big move on yours, a risky move on yours. But now's the time to do it, right? Now is the time to do it. You're at the age. I am really impressed with your decision. I was really shocked, and I wish you all the best, man. I truly do. I truly do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be something big. Realistically, a lot of the product that we currently have, we're going to be showing off at our race Oktoberfest coming up 10/31 to the 2nd. So we're going to be showing off a lot of the product we have there with mod media. I mean, that's going to be a huge thing for us too, is showing that RawSpeed is a capable company, that our tires work on all conditions. I mean, Lutz proved it at Sitcross. He's proved it at Mugen Challenge, going 4 for 4. I mean, the product and everything is there to make it a winning company. It just kind of needs that extra push. I'm willing to give it that extra push over the mountaintop and take it to the next level. And from there, we'll see what happens. I mean, only time will tell what RawSpeed becomes. I mean, I got a vision for it. I have ideas for it. The ideas are endless, but time's going to tell what RawSpeed becomes. And I hope it's going to be something big. I hope it's going to be something great. And I hope I can build a team and a community around it and have something to pass on sooner or later.
Awesome. Great attitude to have. And I think with that type of attitude and your attention to detail, things are going to definitely be good for you. I guess my last question was, silly season's coming up. And is there any thoughts of maybe acquiring another top tier driver? If you guys are looking to hop up your son or daughter's Power Wheels, check them out at mltoys.com. We also have a promo code that helps you out with that. Link in the written description of this podcast for ML Toys.
Are you looking to take your ride-on car to the next level? ML Toys makes it easy with plug-and-play modifications like motors, speed and brake controls, and more. ML Toys is the one-stop shop to make your ride-on car the coolest car in the neighborhood.
There's thoughts. They're 100% our thoughts. There's also been some names thrown around, stuff like that. I've already asked a couple guys what's going on, figuring out some stuff. I'm not going to give names, nothing like that, just because if things don't work out, it could get them fired from previous companies or stuff like that. There are contracts that I know of that don't end until next year or until 2027 that I have my eyes on, which is fine, because that gives me time to build a brand, to build something to prove that RawSpeed can be something. Right now, basically my goal is to build a team to build a couple fast local guys, a couple fast California guys, a couple fast East Coast guys. I know Brian Eider up there in HRCR is excited. He's one of our winter locals.
I saw that.
Yeah. So he's excited about this. He loves the American made products and stuff like that. So I know he's excited. He's getting ready to come down here. He's going to test out some product, test out some of our great carpet tires, and go from there.
I was just about to say that. I was about to ask that. Will we see some? I know we talked mostly about 8 scale, but you do make 10 scale tires. Will we see more? And the 10 scale world, you need a mod guy, you need a stock guy, right? Will we see a little bit more focus on RawSpeed and 10 scale as well?
100%. So I'm going to keep the brand rocking and rolling 10 scale, 8 scale. In the end of the day, there's always going to be things that change, right? It's a business. If you stay in one position, you're going to die off sooner or later. And over time, there's going to be tread patterns that come and go. We all know this. Same thing with compounds, right? But we are going to focus on 8 scale and 10 scale with carpet and all that other stuff. There are plans to expand into other varieties of RC. I won't give details, nothing like that, but just know in years to come, there are ideas and stuff to expand into those. But we are going to focus on 10 scale and 8 scale, from new tread patterns to slicks to everything we possibly can focus on. So yeah, we do plan to keep the 10 scale side. Trying to find a stock and a mod guy. Oof, that's tough because my big thing is 8 scale. I don't know a lot of the 10 scale guys, right now my big thing is I got to try to get a hold of Jake Mayo and all those guys that used to do this, that know some guys that are relatively fast. I mean, Jake Mayo used to be a RawSpeed guy. And he's kind of, moved on from the RC community from what I heard, but he still talks to everybody and he kind of knows the in on the 10 scale side. So I'm going to get with Mayo and talk with a bunch of our local guys and kind of get an idea of who's out there. Because at the end of the day, I don't know much about the 10 skill side anymore. I mean, we started with 10 skill, but I kind of moved on from it, went to the 8 skill side, and that's been my bread and butter, right? So I'm going to do a lot of research, travel to a bunch of 10 skill races over the next year or so to see who I can kind of build into a team, kind of build a stock guy, build a mod guy. I mean, if we got to start from young age with a couple kids, for example, like Reed Saunders, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the time, I'm going to build them, and I'm going to get the kids rocking and rolling. I mean, I'm not a fast racer at any means, but I can get them going in the right direction at a quicker pace than starting and doing it all by themselves. Kind of do what BK did with Mayfield and Rifkin and all those guys, but I'm just not a pro. So I can give them an idea of where to go and get them set up and what stuff like that. But if we're going to do this properly, I want to have a mod guy, I want to have a 10 skill guy, and I want to have 8 skill guys like Ryan Lutz. But having the next generation of racers is going to be huge. If we can spend time and build racers and get them fast and get them and spend a good time with them and make sure they understand that they're good people to us and that we want to make sure that they're overall going to enjoy the hobby. And if they have the passion and fire, then I want to spend the time with them and I want to make sure that they enjoy this and they can get every ounce of entertainment out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Good luck with all of that, man. I wish you all the best. It's 25/8 in RC. 25/8, not 24/7, 25/8, but you can handle it. Before we leave, we've been promoted on the podcast here. Thank you to your dad for that support. Oktoberfest coming up the end of October. Maybe you can tell people who are going to listen to this why they should come to the Oktoberfest. Not just because you guys have a beautiful facility and a great track, but what can people expect at the Oktoberfest Halloween weekend? It's Halloween weekend, yeah, end of October, yeah.
Yep, yeah. So it's end of October. So we did Halloween weekend just so we can do mod. That's our big thing is we want to do coverage, right? We want to be able to show the world, hey, you guys can, if you can't make it to this race, at least you can watch it, right? There's a bunch of races that don't have coverage that kind of fly under the radar. So with us to do Oktoberfest, it gives people that, hey, I want to go to that track. It's on a bucket list. And for those who are, let's say, in Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, that might not be able to fly over here, they can still watch it. To go back to your point of, why should you come? That's kind of a personal thing for everybody, because honestly, if I tell you why you should come down here and race the race, it's going to be real biased. It's going to be, I feel like I have a great track. I feel like we have great dirt. The facility's great. The people here, the camaraderie, everything about it, it's just great. But at the end of the day, that's my opinion. And it's going to be 100% biased because I own the track. I mean, the track is on the property where I live. So at the end of the day, you know, we just want to make sure that everybody has a good time. We want everything to be relaxed. We kind of want to bring back the best way that when we did our first FTC race and we hit it off with a bang, everybody said it gave them old memories of the Nitro pit days, which is you and I discussed earlier in the podcast. You know, it's way before my time, but a lot of the guys have been doing this for 20, 30 years, you know, so for them to be able to have those fond memories come running back and whatnot, it's a great feeling to know that we gave them the memories, and the Nitro Compound's a place to make memories. And we hope we can give those memories to each and every one of the RC community from near and far. And Oktoberfest is going to be the race to do it.
Yeah, there's some classes. You have a short course truck class. I think you have what was the other class you have, which you can use as a second class as well?
So basically what we did is we created, it's kind of like open buggy, kind of like what you do at nationals, right? Except it's not really the national style racing. Basically what it is you can run sportsman and then you can run open, which you'll run with. The best way to put it is you'll run from a sportsman class, open, or intermediate and pro in the open class. So you run everybody all in one class. It gives the racers a second option to either A, run the same chassis, or B, run a different car if they have that option. You know, it's an extra tuning class. So you're not sitting around all day. You know, if you're only running nitro buggy or just e-buggy, then you're kind of just sitting around all day. The open buggy class, open nitro buggy, open e-buggy class gives you an opportunity to run a second race, to give you an option to tune. It's a test and tune class for some people, or it's a class to just go out and have fun with all your good buddies that might be on a different skill level.
Awesome.
It's something to look forward to.
Awesome. Well, as I forgot to ask you, you'll still continue to have the hobby shop, right? TNT Hobbies. Okay.
100%. Yeah. So right now, RawSpeed's gonna be my number one priority. That's the best way to put it. I mean, it sucks for the locals because a lot of the locals get product from me. I'm still going to continue to run the hobby shop. I'm just not going to run it to 100% or to full extent like I did at the start of the year.
Gotcha.
So that's gonna stay the same thing, but it's just not going to be 100% running. It might run at 75, 50%. You know, we might not carry every single car brand. We might not carry every single part, but we'll have consumable items, stuff that the nitro guys need, the fuel, glow plug, stuff like that. Just like your everyday stuff. But until roughly I get RawSpeed up and running at 100%, the hobby shop is going to be my second priority, because RawSpeed is my priority right now. It's the biggest thing. I want to get the company rocking and rolling, and I want to make sure that everybody knows it could be a force to reckon with.
Awesome. Lots of work ahead of you, my friend. Lots of work. But you know that going in. Once again, I wish you all the best, you and your dad. Thank you for all the support you guys have shown, the podcast and the friendship. I guess the next, how can people get in touch with you if they want to get some RawSpeed products, or how does that all work?
Yep. Yeah. So we're going to be launching the website here pretty quick, so everybody kind of notices that the website's down. We built a brand new website. We're just kind of figuring out some little bugs, stuff like that. I understand that, and I hope that the consumers and everybody else understands that the website's not going to be perfect on the first go around. So I'm asking for a little bit of leeway right here, because this is my first big company with a first big website, but we're doing this right. We're trying to do it as properly as possible. I got web developers, the whole 9 yards for it. So if there's issues, I can make a call, they can get it fixed, stuff like that. But RawSpeed's going to stay the same with Facebook, Instagram. If you guys need to contact me, you can get a hold of me on AJ Schumacher on Facebook. Just send me a message on there. That'll be the best way to contact me, or the Nitro Compound on Instagram, TNT Hobbies on Instagram, TNT Hobbies on Facebook. I also have an email set to TNT Hobbies. I did turn off the messenger on TNT Hobbies just because at some point it was blowing up my phone, and I wanted to stay away from the social media, but I kind of got pulled back into it. So
Impossible. No.
100%. Yep. Yeah. So now it's going to be impossible, but basically email at tncrchobbies@gmail.com, be able to hit up AJ Schumacher on Facebook, and then the Nitro Compound on Facebook as well. Instagram, the same thing. It'll be the Nitro Compound and TNT Hobbies as well. So any one of those standpoints or social media platforms, you guys will be able to contact us. I'll have a business phone number set up on the website here probably within the next week or so. So if there's any issues, I have a support email. So it'll be support@rawspeedrc.com. That'll be another way to get a hold of us if you guys have any questions or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I should have every branch covered of any way somebody can get a hold of us to say, hey, by the way, this is what's going on, or there was an issue, whatnot. I mean, I should have plenty of opportunities for people to get a hold of us.
Sweet. Awesome, man. Well, I'm going to let you go. I know you've got a busy day ahead of you. Thank you for your time. Good luck with everything. And I will see you in October when I come to Arizona for Masters of Dart.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be there hanging out. I'll be doing some scouting. So I'll be there walking around, having a good time meeting people. But yeah, it was a pleasure being on the podcast. We love the podcast, and you're doing a great job with all the hard work you're putting in, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. And I am coming out to see the Nitro Compound when I'm there. I am coming out there. We have made it a point to come out and check out the track. AJ, thank you for your time. Good luck with everything, my friend. And I look forward to talking to you in the future. You have a good day.
You too. Have a good one.
Morgan Fuel has been collaborating with many of the world's top drivers for over 40 years. This has enabled them to test their fuels in many of the most challenging situations and take the development of competition fuels to the next level. The result is Sidewinder, the market's most powerful racing fuel. This fuel has been track tested and proven by national champions and world champions such as Ryan Cavalier, Ryan Mayfield, Greg Degani, Mark Reeders, Fee Longwin, A.K. Little Bump, just won Truggy at the Sick Cross with this fuel and has been running for many years. These drivers appreciate that Sidewinder is blended perfectly for the high-performance needs of competitive racing. Don't let victory slip through your fingers. Purchase Sidewinder today. Thank you, AJ, for your time. We greatly appreciate it. It was a great chat with you, a great look into how this whole acquiring of RawSpeed happened. And I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to let you get to it. But thank you for your time. We wish you all the luck here at the No Name RC podcast and your new endeavor. It's huge. We look to see what type of youthful exuberance and ideas you bring to the RC industry, and your dedication to as an RC racer and making the hobby better is absolutely bar none. Thank you for all the support you showed the No Name RC podcast. If you guys like this interview, hit up AJ, show him some support. Thank you all for showing the podcast some support as well. Don't forget to hit that sub, like, a notification button. It definitely helps us out. And a big shout out to the NNRC patrons and YouTube members. If you guys like what we're doing here at the podcast, want to support us a little bit extra, you can. Links for that in the written description of this podcast. Big shout out to the NNRC squad. Lots of coming up. We're doing a lot more lives. We're doing some daily live shows from the 10 scale worlds. We're trying to do one each day. There'll be live. Pekka's going to join me to do some analysis. We got some friends over there that are going to be giving us some notes. So we're looking to do them around 10 o'clock EST mornings, maybe 11 o'clock. So that will be probably nighttime. It will be nighttime in Australia, and we'll see what's going on. We'll be able to watch it. Well, we're highly anticipating the upcoming 10 scale worlds. We're looking forward to it. I'll be glued to the television watching that. I pretty much got that whole week set off just to do that. Lots of podcasts dropping. I'll be in America here shortly. I'm trying to have podcasts dropping while I'm gone. Thank you for all the support. Help us get to 8K. We greatly appreciate everything. And a big shout out to our sponsors. Without them, none of this is possible as well. They are J Concepts, High Tech RC, Sidewinder Fuels, Latera Racing, Invisible Speed, ML Toys, Dollar Hobbies, Side Piece Racing, Get Shit Done Coffee, Elite RC Productions, RC Project, Mayako, Techno RC, Beach RC, Racecraft USA, and Clinic RC. From Lefty and everybody here at the NNRC. Thank you for all the support. Have a great week. And don't forget to share this as well. Lefty is out. Ta-ta. Everybody have a good day. Goodbye. Have a good week.